Hello everyone and welcome back to Odyssey Recaps, just the Tea edition, where I do short, shallow, and sassy recaps of each chapter or book of the Odyssey. If you want a more in-depth look at the chapters, feel free to head over to my below the surface recaps, but now let's get started. Today we are recapping book 6, titled by Emily Wilson as A Princess and Her Laundry. We last left off with Odysseus surviving a harrowing journey to escape Hot Goddess Island, and finally washing up on the shores of a new island, and finally falling asleep, naked, covered in salt, in a pile of leaves under a bush. So, while Odysseus sleeps off his 2-day swim and near drowning in his olive and thorn bush cave, Athena goes to see the people whose land he's washed up on. They're called the Phaeacians, and they used to live in Hyperia, the land of dancing, but had to move because their neighbors, the Cyclops, kept looting them. No clue why they can't dance here, but maybe it's like a footloose dancing is bad band kind of situation, or maybe it was the constant dancing why their neighbors, the Cyclops, were pissed at them and they finally learned their lesson. We'll never know. Anyway, Athena goes to meet them and see what's up. Now, we know how much Athena loves a disguise. This goddess will take any opportunity for a costume change. But this time, she decides to do the whole dream ghost thing again that she did with Penelope back in chapter 4, where she, super creepily pretended to be Penelope's ghost, the ghost of Penelope's sister. Anyway, so she wants to do that again. So she finds the bedroom of the sleeping princess of Phaeacia, whose parents must love Star Trek because her name is Nausicaa with 2 A's, and she takes the form of her best friend. She sort of enters Nausicaa with 2 A's' dream and is like, hey girl, real talk, you're crusty and gross. We need to do some laundry ASAP. No one wants to marry a girl with piles of dirty laundry everywhere. Tomorrow you have got to do this laundry, and you better take a cart pulled by mules to get to the washing pools because this is a lot of laundry. You are low-key nasty, but still I love you. Okay, bye babes, call me when you're clean. Then she takes off back to Mount Olympus. When Nausicaa wakes up, she goes to find her dad and is like, nobody in this entire palace is clean. Give me a cart and some mules and I'll go to the spring and wash everybody's clothes, even my gross-ass brother's clothes. Her dad listens to her and in his head is like, ooh, somebody's angling to get married. But out loud, he's like, sure, hon, take the cart and some slaves and have fun. They pack up a picnic lunch and head down to the river, and they wash the clothes together. Then while they wait for everything to dry, Nausicaa and her slave girls have a little picnic lunch and they start playing a ball game. They're almost done playing and getting ready to pack up and go home when Athena is like, ugh, do I have to do literally everything myself? And her eyes flashed bright. And then a slave girl misses her catch and the ball rolls down the hill, causing all the girls to scream really loudly because there's no overnight shipping in Phaeacia and you have to make all the balls by hand yourself. So it's a big deal to lose one. Anyway, their screaming wakes up Odysseus in his little olive and thorn cave. Odysseus can't figure out if the screams are from humans or nymphs, but is like, either option is better than my thorn cave, and he crawls out to find the screamers. Now, remember that he lost all of his clothes in the sea while swimming for his life, so our boy is naked. He's also caked in salt and generally just not looking his best. So when he tries to approach the group of girls, they all scream even more and just scatter, run away. These girls are smart. They are not sticking around to be on an episode of Greek mythology Dateline. It's not happening. So they all run, except Nausicaa, who Athena has given courage so that she'll stay and hear Odysseus out. Now, Odysseus is covering himself the best he can with leaves, and he isn't sure how best to approach her. He wants to grab her knees in supplication, but he's worried that a naked, salt-encrusted man touching her maybe isn't the best idea. Oh, also, side note, this isn't really as weird as it sounds, because touching someone's knees was a common form of supplication, especially if you, really needed the other person to agree. Basically, it shows you're really desperate and you need help. So it wasn't that crazy, but at least our salty boy recognizes that in this moment it is not appropriate, which is more situational awareness than from some people I've met. Anyway, he's decided to go with calculated flattery or the get your glaze on approach. He starts by asking if she's a goddess, like maybe Artemis. Then he says if she's not a goddess, she is the most beautiful human woman he has ever seen, which is hilarious because he just came from Hot Goddess Island where he turned down a super hot goddess because his own wife, Penelope, is even hotter, but Nausicaa with 2 A's doesn't know that, so it's all fine. And then he goes on and on about how lucky her parents and brothers are to have such a gorgeous daughter, and her future husband is even luckier, and OMG, girl, who does your hair? After he thinks she's sufficiently flattered, he asks her if she can maybe find it in her heart to lend him some rags and point him in the direction of town. Pretty please. Nausicaa is like, bro, clearly you have been cursed by Zeus. But you're also brave and smart, so sure, we'll help you. Also, I'm a princess, by the way. And then she calls her slave girls back and is like, guys, why were you even scared? The gods love Phaeacia. Plus, it's a super long journey here, so he's props fine. Plus, Zeus is a huge fan of hospitality. So let's get this man some food and give him a makeover. The girls give Odysseus some clean clothes and take him to a sheltered spot in the river so they can bathe him. And he's like, I can bathe myself. Plus, I'm too shy to be naked in front of so many pretty girls. Which is great, because if I was a slave girl and someone asked me to wash a random naked, able-bodied, weird dude, I would not be down for that. I don't care how handsome or brave or whatever he's supposed to be. If he can wash himself, then he is going to wash himself. Yet another reason I would not have survived in the world of this story. It's not for me for a million reasons, but the washing of naked randos is one of them. Also, side note, they talk a lot about how the slave girls have amazing hair and braids. Like, it's brought up way more than you would expect. This is an island of bad braided bitches, and I would love to know their secrets. I'm very bad at braiding, so I would love to know. Anyway, the girls leave and go back to Nausicaa, and Odysseus has an everything shower. When he gets out, Athena just gives him a little glow up to make sure he's really, like, sparkling. He's clean. He's oiled up. He's looking fine. He is that bitch. Nausicaa sees him and is like, damn, but then immediately is like, ooh, I cannot bring a man this handsome home. It will not go down well. She's worried that the townspeople will see him with her and be like, oh, so you're too good for Phaeacian men. Had to Uber Eats yourself some Greek. This girl definitely lives in a small town. Like, I've been there. Small towns are great, but everyone has opinions about everyone, which Nausicaa definitely gets, because she says that if some other girl did this, she would judge them too, which, like, good that you're self-aware, but maybe be the change you want to see in the world. Anyway, she tells Odysseus that if he comes all the way with her, they'll run into some serious trouble by the time they hit Poseidon's shrine, which is huge and central, because the entire island is a sea-based island, and everything sort of revolves around Poseidon's shrine. She tells him to come with them as far as the grove of poplar trees that's dedicated to Athena, and then wait there for a bit to give her time to get home. Then he can come up to the palace alone. And yes, the whole Poseidon shrine dangerous, Athena shrine safe thing is definitely a heavy-handed metaphor, but it's the Odyssey. They can be as heavy-handed as they like. It's a foundational text of Western literature. They started this whole thing. Go get your heavy-handedness. You do it. Anyway, Nausicaa tells Odysseus that this next part is very important. When he reaches the palace, he needs to head into the throne room and go past her father in his throne and head straight for her mom, the queen. And he needs to grab her knees and just, like, beg for help. We all know he is really in charge here, and there's actually some really interesting scholarship on how this might link to a forgotten old kingdom, but tell me in the comments if you want to hear more about that. But anyway, Odysseus is like, that sounds great, let's get on the road, and they head off. And the chapter ends with Odysseus leaving Nausicaa behind to wait in Athena's grove, praying that the Phaeacians will help him so that he can get home. And that is it. Join us next time for chapter 7.